Hello everybody, today in this video I'm going to be talking about, as you can see by this picture right here, Cloverfield. Before we start, I just want to say some heads up here. Don't forget to leave a like and comment on this video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It actually will help a lot and means a lot. So let's continue with the video. So, Cloverfield. This is one of the most interesting, very interesting movies that I ever witnessed. The movie was created by Matt Reeves, that's the director, and the producer is J.J. Abrams, right? Or Abrams. Abrams or Abrams, same thing. So, the movie gets most of the credit from J.J. Abrams, right? I was gonna call him JJ, right? A lot of people, right, that I've witnessed from different sources, right, wanting to connect these films together. Cloverfield consists of 5 consecutive films. The first film being Cloverfield, the second being 10 Cloverfield Lane, the third film being the Cloverfield Paradox, the fourth film being Overlord, and the fifth film being, that's coming out this year on August 14th, The End of Oak Street. So, how is these films are connected? Well, this is where we have to start with the Cloverfield Paradox. Before we start, let's put Overlord to the side for now. Let's focus on these specific films: Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Cloverfield Paradox, and also The End of Oak Street. In Cloverfield Paradox, they were dealing with a particle accelerator, right? During this particle accelerator, if you watch this movie or TV show called The Flash from the CW, they have a particle accelerator. That is where Barry Allen himself, the Flash, got his powers from. Now, if you go very deeper with this, the particle accelerator can open multiple dimensions and also clash dimensions together and also destroying other dimensions, right? So, this is why you should not be playing with a particle accelerator in the first place. We have a legitimately particle accelerator in real life. I'm very happy that they did not test it, but one thing I am very pissed off at is that we even have a particle accelerator. We have a legitimately particle accelerator in real world till this date. It's kind of crazy that we have one, but it's very messed up. I don't know why we have it. Maybe they want to go through a different dimension, but that's the worst idea ever. So, with all of this information that I just said, this is the reason of how Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and The End of Oak Street being a thing, right? Because there's this guy called Mark Stamler, right? From in Paradox. He's pretty much telling everyone. By the way, he's a conspiracy theorist that he's saying this, right? He's saying that starting up this particle accelerator is a no. It's a bad decision. It's a very bad decision. Because what that does, it opens up multiple realities and dimensions. and also it destroys multiple realities and dimensions. Also, he said it opens my dimensions to bring alien. He mentioned to aliens, monsters, and as you can see in Paradox, you need to watch these films, right? Because as right now, you probably would not be understanding of what I am saying at the moment. So you guys need to watch these films, right? There's also mutations that happen on the actual, legitimately on the whole particle accelerator, on the whole ship, the whole spaceship, the space station ship with the particle accelerator, right? So that emphasize the being from Overlord with the mutations of the zombies, right? So that makes a lot of sense there for Overlord, right? Seeing that they blipped that type of mutation to a different dimension, right? Into Overlord during the Vietnam War. Well, like Nazis war. It's pretty much Nazis, by the way, right? Let's start with the aliens now. So we don't do Overlord. That Overlord is legitimately connected to it with the mutations. Let's start with 10 Cloverfield Lane. They legitimately sent aliens into this different Earth, right? Legitimately. So they sent aliens, right? The particle accelerators sent aliens. So let's say Cloverfield is Earth 1, Cloverfield 2 is Earth 2, which is 10 Cloverfield Lane, right? Paradox is Earth 3, and the end of Oak Street being Earth 4, and Overlord being Earth 5, right? In Paradox, they blipped aliens to Earth 2, in the different dimension thing, right? From this, another thing of what they did is that if in the ending of Paradox, right, legitimately in the ending of Paradox, it states and it shows that that there's a massive Cloverfield monster. So what I think is that, not what I think, is what I know from witnessing these specific type of films and these specific types of incidents that happen. They legitimately blipped the baby Cloverfield monster to Earth 1. Blip means sending that monster into Earth 1, which is happening in New York City, right? So New York City, so Cloverfield law is a complete different law to besides Paradox. Cloverfield law of what happened is that the monster got blipped into the sky, dropped down into the world, right? It dropped straight down to the bottom of the ocean, right? And from there, Tagarado, right, which is the same company, by the way, it's a Japanese company, by the way, if you don't know what Tagarado is, right? They legitimately were making this drink called Slusho, which is a formulated drink that has seabed nectar in it, right? And while they were drilling for seabed nectar, right? Because to be honest, this is a fictional thing. Seabed nectar is fictional, right? They were drilling and they were working the Cloverfield monster, and that's when the Cloverfield monster destroyed the oil rig in the ARG. Because listen, Cloverfield had a massive ARG marketing, right? And during the ARG, we see an actual oil rig got destroyed. That oil rig legitimately is the whole thing that Cloverfield destroyed the whole oil rig, because they awoken the Cloverfield monster when it got dropped in the ocean, right? And maybe that at the bottom of the ocean, it was just there sleeping, right? So from there, when the Cloverfield monster woke up, right, destroyed the oil rig, right, it's pretty much confused and alone at the same time, because it went straight to New York City, legitimately went to New York City, right? But there's this scene at the ending of the Cloverfield movie where there's a satellite drop. I think of what I've witnessed. Remember, there was a satellite that dropped from Paradox. I think that's the exact same satellite, but it got blipped into Earth 1 with the Cloverfield monster. And that is where the Cloverfield monster become the Cloverfield monster and the whole movie that became, right? Another thing is, how is the end of Oak Street? This film is new and it's coming out this year on August 14th. How is this film connected to the Cloververse? How? Well, there's one way, and that is being in same Paradox. There's a scene saying 5 city blocks vanished, disappeared, and that makes a lot of sense, because that's the legitimate plot for the end of Oak Street. That's the plot. Another thing with end of Oak Street that given off so much of Cloverfield connections is that's the same. That's so how this new film aligns with every single Cloverfield movie that we know. There is a lot, right? The first one being legitimately what I just said, right? With Paradox having 5 city blocks mysteriously vanished, right? 5 city blocks. That's the plot for the end of Oak Street, right? There's this another one. This is number 2. The family that we see in this film is the Platt family. Who is the name of the guy who was filming the whole thing from the first Cloverfield? Seriously, the guy who played T.J. Miller's character. His surname at the end is Platt. That's an instant connection right there. Platt family, right? Surname with Platt, because there's Houston Platt, right? Or Hudson Platt something. But his surname is Platt. Another connection, right, that deals with it is this is what I see occurring to these films, right? Did you know the original name for 10 Cloverfield Lane is being The Cellar, right? They changed it to 10 Cloverfield Lane. The original name for the Cloverfield Paradox is The God Particle. And the legitimate original name, right, for the end of Oak Street is Flower Vale Street. And if you translate this, right, it says Cloverfield Lane. So what I think that in this film, right, they legitimately said, and this is the 4th thing, this is the last connection that I could say, right? J.J. Abrams office building, his Bad Robot office building production, right? His office building is legitimately in What's called again? It's not Minnesota. Is this in Minnesota? Minnesota, I believe. Yeah, Minnesota, right? And if you look in this specific area, there is a lot of clues. There's Cloverfield Boulevard, there's Oak Street, right? And there's also Clover Park. And they said in the film, the end of Oak Street. What is at the end of Oak Street? And in the real life, at the end of Oak Street is Clover Park. That is it right there. And that's how there's 4 instant connections, right, to the to the whole Cloververse, right? 4 connections from just one film. Another thing of what I've heard is that there is a J.J. Abrams is continuing to make Cloverfield 2, a true sequel to the first Cloverfield movie, right? I cannot wait for that. Right now, you're just looking for casting at the moment, meaning the film is not even in production at the moment. So that's pretty much it, right? So that's everything that I know that I could connect these films together with, right? And that guy who was in Paradox called Mark Stamler in Earth 3, did you know in Earth 2, his name, the guy who owned the bunker, right, is called Howard Stamler, which is very, 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 very close there, right? Meaning that's Howard speaking to the news girl, right? And that same news girl, right, in that news broadcast thing, is the same girl who acted, right, as the woman who wanted to come into the bunker from 10 Cloverfield Lane. There is so much of connections here that deal with this specific franchise. And what I truly think that this franchise is that the reason for this franchise to being a thing is that do not mess with particle accelerators, because you are destroying you're destroying things that could happen not in your dimension but in other dimensions too. Another thing is a lot of people say that they want to link this franchise with Quiet Place. I don't see it at all, right? I don't see that interplays. So that's pretty much it, to be honest. I hope you guys enjoy this very, very long video of me talking about the Cloverfield movie and the Cloververse all together. I've been wanting to create this video for a long while without no cuts, just a picture in the background, right? And also with just me talking in the background. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment on the video, and also don't forget that next week is going to be a full-on reaction to Godzilla Just Pray Part 2 reaction. Pretty much 3 videos is coming. 3 videos, right? There is the Godzilla Just Pray reaction 2. There is a Call of Duty mobile video that deals with Godzilla X Kong Supernova. And there's also Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2 review, right? Which gonna be happening in May. So 2 videos is coming when this video drop Friday, right? Pretty much because it's dropping for Friday anyways, right? The other videos will be coming on next week, right? And the 25th is when the day I have to record for the Godzilla event in Call of Duty Mobile. But from now, there's another video called Godzilla Just Pray Reaction 2. Be on a lookout for that, right? So I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful night. And if it's nighttime, sleep well, right? Because right now we got so much of stuff to deal with at life. So it's best for you guys to take a rest, and because rest is all things that you need for your health, right? And if you guys watching this in the daytime, always don't forget to be yourself and follow your dreams. My name is Jeremy Hardstyle, signing off.